Welcome to Unique, Not Different with me, Shamla. Today, I have Doniel Reyes, who is the founder of Stingreyes Sports Club in Tobago and a self advocate. Doniel works tirelessly in helping persons with disability both in Trinidad and Tobago. But he's here to talk about disability affairs in Tobago. So, good morning, then, Doniel, and thanks for
Good
coming.
morning, Shamla. And how are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. Hope all is well with you. So, Donna,
Yeah.
let's get straight into it. To give
Mm.
our context, can you give a bit of overview in terms of your background and starting your work with the disability community in Trinidad and Tobago in particular?
Well, it's very really it's really long because I started at the organization at the age of 10, right? That's how long I started being a part of the organization. So I really can't go too long into it. But I started at the age of 10, right? I'm going in my 40s now, so that's how long I'm in the organization.
Fantastic. So, in terms of like, since you started and now, right, and especially now, what are some major issues persons with disability in Tobago are currently facing?
Well, some of the issues like we the on the good on Good Friday, but Black Friday, we keep our awareness walk for persons with disability, right? Because we are being neglected a lot in Tobago for persons with disability. So we keep our awareness walk for children and persons with disability to increase schooling, better schooling, transportation, the grants, food cards and jobs and all these things. So the walk was our first annual walk in Tobago awareness walk for person with disability for the for the government to recognize us. Right, because we've been in the dark too much, and we decide, well, we're coming out of the dark and we're going to be in the light. So that is why we decided to have this awareness walk.
So you mentioned the awareness walk was your first
Our
ever.
first ever since yeah.
What type of impact that had in terms of actual awareness?
Well, it had a very great impact with me and my team, because some of the stuff we had breakfast for the kids, snow cone, cotton candy, and all these things. People volunteer their time and give us for free, So it was a good impact to show that we still have good people who are willing to help the community out there, So we just want the government to do a little more, like the roads and the transportation and housing and food cards and grants. These are the things that we need, and schools. These are the things that we need because more and more children are becoming disabled in this country. So we need more schools and more, avenues, so person with disability because we are humans too, we are.
Exactly. So you mentioned schools and employment. What about employment?
But
Are there
that
opportunities?
that's another tough avenue. Thank God I'm self-employed that I could be able to juggle certain things. But if somebody who really has a disability really wants to have a job, you can't work. And if you're getting this food card, this grant, you can't work if you're getting the grant. So all these restrictions we need to kind of take away. Yes, we're not saying that we're not thankful for the $2,000, but look how cost of living is getting today. Life is getting more expensive, things are getting more hard, so we need to try to eliminate because you're working, because you're getting the grant, you can't work. We as a people need to come together and get that out of the way. We need to put that stop.
Yeah. So you mentioned, okay, so Tobago is known for its tourism, right? But you mentioned in
Mhm.
terms of physical and tourism should cater for everybody, including persons who are senior citizens who maybe have mobility issues, right?
Mhm.
Can you just go deeper in terms of the physical inaccess or the level of inaccess physically Tobago has?
But well, Tobago basically, we have there are a lot of issues with roadways. I think some months ago, me and Faith be Israel, we had a meeting, a little Zoom meeting, me and one or two of our team, and we was talking about getting buses into the country. So if somebody come off a cruise ship and they're on a wheelchair, they should be able to be accessible for them to go to the beach, right? Because you can't just drive around town. Tobago is not just driving around Scarborough. So once you have a bus, right? The persons who coming off the cruise ship, the elderly people, the person who are wheelchairs and all these things should be able to use that same transportation to get to the nice beaches that Tobago has. And even the local people in Tobago be able to use that same vehicle to get to the beautiful beaches that we have in Tobago here.
It's basically
I don't know how far it's going. I don't know how far because after we had that meeting, she haven't get back to me. But I know she had a big thought about that. She had a really, really big thought about that.
so it's the idea ignited.
Yes. So it's just yeah.
So in terms of the Tobago House of Assembly, are there any programs or initiatives that going on specifically for persons with disabilities?
Not really, to be honest, not really. So I'm glad that I get this opportunity here that, the THA could really come together with me and my organization and my staff, so we could make things much better for persons with disability and children with disability and elderly, because as I say, we're not getting old. I don't like the ball old, I just ball young, so, I wish that, they could really come together with me and my staff, that we could make Tobago better for persons with disability because there's a lot of hidden children in Tobago and parents do have the access to get the kids out of their homes and stuff. So, if we could create avenues, I'm the mastermind. Just work with me and we could make a lot of things happen.
So can you tell us a little bit about your organization to put everything
Uh,
together?
My organization, I'm the first person in Trinidad and Tobago that has a disability that runs a sports academy for preschool kids. Right, we do swimming and all different kind of activities. Right, I started my business in 2017, and it's going successful so far. But I only teach preschool kids, and on that evening time, we do primary school children and stuff. So, I'm doing great as a person with a disability. Really, really great and thankful. I have a gift and I understand my gift.
So Doniel, how persons can reach out to you?
Well, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, right, TikTok, right. My contact number is 377-0391. If anybody interested in making sure that the children learn how to swim and take part in sport, because sports plays a really big part in communities, and I wish that my great minister could, she does a lot of programs with me, so I wish my great minister of sports, we can work together and make things better for our disability community, because I also used to play wheelchair basketball for my country. I represent my country on that wheelchair basketball for the country. So, I would like for my beautiful minister, for us to work together to get that basketball team start back so we could go to the Olympics next 4 years, and represent our country into the Paralympics. Right? So yeah.
That is a
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
So Doniel, in terms of leaving us this morning, what advice would you give to quickly in terms of advice would you give to persons with disability or parents of persons with disability in Tobago? Because you mentioned that persons are still hiding their children in Tobago.
Yeah. Well, all I can really say this morning, it is the ability and not the disability that counts. Right? So we're living in a world today where things have changed. Parents, if you all keep silent, how can we get things done? How can we make the government realize, that all these things that we need, so that is why we need to come out of the darkness and come in the light. Stop being ashamed of your children. Nobody on this earth was born perfect. Nobody. Everybody born with a different disability, and not because you're normal. That don't say that they don't have a disability. You have a disability some way, right? So let's work together. Let's come out of this darkness and that and put ourselves in the light, and so we'll get things done. Everything will happen first once we come out of this darkness.
So Doniel, I want to say thank you so much for coming.
And I'm so and I'm thankful for being on your show also. So I hope that we could do much more, and I hope that once we start to do much more programs, that you could have us on board and you could come to Tobago too, because you need to come to Tobago too and see how nice Tobago is.
So thank you so much, Doniel. And I know that but I know Doniel from a little girl who went to the same.
Yes. Come from very far.
Yeah, it's very surreal.
So,
You.
thanks for having me.
My pleasure, Doniel. So, guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of unique, not different, as I always say. Be good. Be good. Bye, everyone.